Hello, welcome to this presentation for Pharmacology 203. Today we're going to be talking about resources that will help you with your research project and paper in pharmacology. So the first thing I want to tell you about is OffCampus Access. When you are on campus, if you click into one of our databases, you get in with no problems. If you happen to be off campus, you'll see a screen like this. It throws lots of people off because it doesn't say Carson-Newman anywhere on it. Instead, it says Appalachian College Association up there in the left-hand corner. And that's a group that we belong to, through which we get our databases. So that is affiliated with Carson-Newman. And it's got a login screen, and this information is a little different than what you use for everything else at Carson-Newman. Your username is going to be just your last name with no initials. Your password is going to be the letters CN and your student ID number. If your student ID number is 6 digits long, you're going to add a 0 to the beginning of it to make it 7 digits long. And if you have any trouble with this, please contact the librarians. We can help you with this. The next thing I want to talk about is how to get to the research guide for pharmacology. Research guide is basically a web page that's set up with all different resources specifically tailored to a particular subject. So for this one, it's all the stuff you're going to need for pharmacology class. On the main page, find the search box that looks like this. Click the tab on the top that says Research Guides, so it turns orange. And then you're going to use the drop-down menu to select Nursing. Once you've selected Nursing, as it appears in this box on the screen here, you're going to click Go, and you'll be taken to this screen. These are all the different nursing guides, which have different information on them depending on the subject. You're going to select the last one, which is pharmacology, and you're going to be taken to this page. Notice on the left-hand side that there's all different categories, and these are all specific to pharmacology. We've got databases, we have where you can find books and ebooks, websites, bibliographies, dictionaries, encyclopedias, and companions. If you happen to come across a term that you're not familiar with, you could use a nursing encyclopedia to look that up, or a dictionary. Interlibrary Loan, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. Citation Help, which has resources that will help you with APA formatting and citations. The URL for the Pharmacology Research Guide, if you'd like to go to it directly, is cn.libguides.com/PHARM, PHARM. So here is the databases page of the Pharmacology LibGuide, and I'm just going to talk about these very, very briefly. And first we're going to zoom in a bit so we can see this better. The one that you're going to be using the most, pretty much your entire nursing career here at Carson-Newman, is CNOL, which is a nursing-specific database. It has all sorts of good stuff in it, studies on particular drugs. It also has things like nursing education and care plans, and it has a lot of full text in it, so it's a great first stop for your research. Another one that you should be aware of is PubMed. PubMed is put together by the National Library of Medicine, so it's actually paid for with your tax dollars, which means it's free for you to get to. If you end up in a doctor's office without a lot of health resources, this is something that's still going to be available to you, so it's worth getting to know. It's not nursing focused, so it's just medical in general. So it'll be a little broader than CNOL, but it has lots of good stuff in it. And then finally, I'm going to show you this one in this presentation, is a database called Clinical Pharmacology. So Clinical Pharmacology is just all kinds of good information about drugs. So here's the search page, and you can see some of the things that they have, like drug interaction reports, IV compatibility, product comparison, there's monographs, there's lists of confused drug names, and there's even patient education over there on the right hand side. So when you type in something, and here we're doing warfarin, you'll see that we get a drug monograph over there on the left hand side, and when you click that, you're taken to this page. So kind of in the middle of the page, it's showing you different ways you can have warfarin, but what I want you to pay attention to is over there on the left hand side. So first there's a summary of the drug. But if you click different parts, like for instance the description and classification, it's going to give you a description of the drug, contraindications and precautions. So when should people not use it? What are some of the problems that might happen? Notice these little numbers. If you click those numbers, those are actually references. So that's very, very helpful to know. If you need to cite something and you found it in clinical pharmacology, you can click on that number and go find that article, read that article for yourself, and work that into your research project if you need to. Going back to the research guide, this is our page on websites that we've looked at that we can kind of vouch for. Drug Bank database has a lot of good information in it, and it is a good place to look for some of the information you're going to need for your project. There's also the Drug Information Portal, and again, that's from the National Library of Medicine, so that's something that is free for you to access even if you aren't at Carson-Newman, but it's got lots of good information in it. And then finally on this page, I'm going to point out the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health. If you're doing something that's an alternative treatment or a herbal supplement, something like that, this is a great website to go to. It has a lot of scientific research on different things, so you can use that. So as you're searching, you need to be kind of on the lookout for some things that aren't going to be appropriate for your research. These are things that can show up in CNOL and PubMed, and actually they're often found in the peer-reviewed journals that we tell you to use. Here's an example where you can see it's something that improves memory. And the big thing to be aware of here is that this is an awfully short little blurb. It's really just one paragraph. But it's telling you the results of a study. It's fine to see this and say, ooh, I want to cite this fact in my research. What you need to do is to find the actual research that it's based on and use that in your paper rather than using this little blurb. These will give you a little clue as to, what was found in the study, and usually they'll tell you like what journal it was in or maybe a lead author name and other little clues that you can use to do another search and find the actual research article. If you're having trouble, that's always a place where you can talk to a librarian. We're happy to help you find the original research. Here's another example, and this one's a little longer, so it looks like something that should be able to be used. I think the big tip-off is probably the pictures. Research studies generally do not have pretty pictures in them. So it's okay, again, to look at this, like the information you find in it. You just want to make sure that you're finding the original research. So for finding alternative treatments, one thing that you can do is look in the databases. CNOL and PubMed actually do have quite a bit of literature on different alternative treatments that you can look up and access. And I already mentioned this website, the National Center for Complementary and Alternative Medicine. One thing you should be aware of is that the site really is consumer information. That means it's meant for patients to read. They can read it. They don't have to have any advanced medical knowledge. They don't have to know all the big words we like to use. They can understand it. So it's fine for you to use it. However, what you should be looking for is references to scholarly articles. And what they'll generally do is have a page on cinnamon. It will say, what do we know about cinnamon? Do we know if it's effective? And then at the end, it will say references, and it will give you some papers. You want to look at those papers, not the actual website page for your information to cite in your paper. If you run across something that we don't seem to have access to, we have a service called Interlibrary Loan, and I'm showing you here what it looks like on the home page of the library. It's in that box to the right. And basically what we do is we talk to other libraries, we find somebody who has it, and we let you borrow it. If it's a book, if it's an article, you usually get a PDF. Now there's a catch to this service. We ask you to give us 10 business days. And what that means is as soon as you know what your research topic is, start looking for the information you're going to need. Then you'll have plenty of time, even if you're not intending to read your article as soon as you get it, but you'll have it and you won't have to worry about that last minute scrambling to find the sources that you need. Librarians are happy to help you with that. And we're also happy to help you determine whether we have an article. So if you found something and you're trying to get to the full text and all you get is a thing asking you to pay for the article, please contact us, give us the citation of that article, and we will look it up for you and determine whether we have it. To contact us, there's a few ways. You can email us at the email address you see right there. We have a phone number that you can use for texting. And we also have, the old-fashioned phone where you can call us. You're also welcome to drop by the library anytime that we're open. We do have reference librarians here until 9 o'clock at night, Sunday through Thursday. And then we're generally here during the day from about 8 to 5. Please let us know if you have any questions or if we can be of assistance to you as you search. Have a wonderful day.